All right, so let's call this meeting to order. It's 4:01. And the attendance of a map, citizens, petitions, comments. Approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed?
City connected now?
Hope so. Sydney, are you?
Yep.
There you go.
Here,
All right.
I can only see the top of your head. I don't know why. But that's what Groton Town staff
That's
is coming in.
we're
at the
focused
top
on the
of your
top of my
head.
head. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
buddy.
Yeah. Whoops.
Beautiful day.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Now you
Sorry not to be there because I've got a 5:15 meeting up here.
So now you get a look at the rest of my head instead of just the top.
That's right. There you are.
Yes. All right.
Somebody's muted. He's trying to say something.
Oh,
Sorry, Matthew abstains. I wasn't present at the last meeting.
oh, okay. Thank you.
Who do you represent?
Board of Education.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Reports Avalonia.
Oh. And I will send you
Send this in
this
writing?
at some point in time. My
Okay. Awesome.
email was hacked and I lost the
Yeah, I thought
email.
I got an
messages,
email
and I'm
from
very
you.
happy because I'm not getting on
emails from you.
Yeah, asking me if I had an Amazon account.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I,
wanting money and all that.
yeah, I sent it. Did you get it? No? It was 20,000.
How much was it? Don't people realize I'm going?
You know, it's amazing. The staff here did a session a couple of years ago, and they interviewed people to talk about the scams, and it was really sad. The amount of money that people lost, how they lost.
Yeah.
They partnered with the police department to talk about scam prevention, and I mean, some people lost tens of thousands of dollars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is
And
it
was-
age related? Is it?
I think for the most part, yeah. Yeah. And some of them are pretty sophisticated.
They're getting more,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
getting really.
Yeah, but it was really kind of sad.
It is sad.
I think one lady in particular lost her entire savings. Anyway, so I shouldn't really joke about it.
Are they
Yeah.
gonna do that again? I think they were.
They should. They haven't done it in a few years. Good idea.
Reaccreditation. Avalon received their Land Trust Alliance reaccreditation letter in August. If anybody wants to know what that involves, is once you get accredited, you have to do reaccreditation every 5 years. You have to do it according to their guidelines, which are on their website. Avalon had a photography contest, and that
Who is speaking?
was some photographs.
Who is speaking? I don't see them in the picture.
Oh, it's Joellen Anderson is speaking.
Hi, Joellen.
I said,
Can you hear her?
I can. I can't see her.
All right. Oh, she's here.
Avalonia.
Avalonia.
It's okay.
Groton Town Committee had a successful, people don't want to call it a work party anymore. They want to call it something else, but anyway, we did a lot of stewardship of the whole woodlands on this past Saturday. We had 8. We celebrated the official opening and closure of Cops Brook Reserve on El Avi Road in July. And that was a joint project with the Trust for Public Land, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, because of the New England Cottontail, the town of Stonington Aquarium because the Coxport falls into their reservoir, and abalone. It was quite a nightmare, as I understand it, to some extent, trying to get all these things closed and stuff. But it did get closed. And we did celebrate. On October the 22nd, we have an opening of the Atkinson Reserve on Long Cove Road, which is a continuation of the Connecticut designated Great Oak Greenway and Legend. And that's Groton Utilities will be present because they contributed over $59,000 towards its purchase. Anybody wants to come in? They're going to do a hike. They usually have food. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Cop property. So a couple of weeks ago, I and one of the program supervisors met with the Southeast Connecticut Community Center for the Blind. We are looking at doing a braille trail out at the Cop property. I know that there's a section that was built 6 or 7 years ago. It's stone dust, probably 12 feet wide. Goes out 700-800 feet. And then there's a loop that goes over into the events field and then kind of comes back and connects with that main path. So the executive director came out and brought and one of her assistants who is visually impaired, and Mrs. Kane came out and we walked the entire path just to get a sense of if this was appropriate for somebody that was visually impaired, and she thought it was wonderful. We are working on getting a cost to, the plan is to put up probably 4x4 posts, have like some kind of a rope or a wire used as a guide, and then there'll be stops along the way that have a QR code, and if you use your phone, the QR code will link you to a voice message kind of explaining why they stopped in that particular area. So we're going to be doing that in a variety of different spots. First, we've got to figure out exactly what all that costs and then try to fundraise and grants to install that. That's something that a staff person here is working on, and fully support that. Hopefully, like a year from now, we'll have something out there. And there are a few other rail trails in Connecticut. There's actually some across the country, and got a Zoom meeting with down in South Carolina that have done rail trail.
Who's the actual organization?
South Connecticut Community Center for the Anyway, it's Southeast Connecticut Community Center. Yeah, it's
I've always done a wonderful job of inclusion.
yeah.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
Were you thinking or had you considered whether using volunteers at all in the construction as a obviously can't speak for a board, but a supervised activity for older students to participate as at least punctually once in a while, if not on an ongoing basis?
Yes, we're still kind of in the development stage, and we do utilize volunteers quite often for various projects. And I think given the nature of this project, utilizing volunteers would be, would kind of fit within the scope of the work that it's going to take to build this trail.
As you get along, I invite you to share with me whatever you want, and I can pass it on to the board.
Okay.
Mark?
Yes.
Is there any way of putting some signs on that new bridge walkway area for those who aren't up to the skill of putting a phone onto a square box onto? I don't have a phone, and so I wouldn't know what the history is that you're passing on.
Oh, okay. So you're suggesting in addition to a QR code to actually have something?
Yes.
Yeah, so we had originally talked about doing signs in Braille, but apparently Braille is used less and less by the visually impaired community. You know, technology, the use of phones has kind of taken the place of Braille.
Right, but there are a lot of people who don't aren't visually impaired. I mean, I have to read with these glasses, but
right.
I am impaired, that I'm not up to date on the tech end of it, and haven't ever used that little square box that's around all over the place.
Well, you should come to the technology center here at Thrive.
That's right.
We should get you hooked up, and
I should do that, but you know what?
Just 30 hours in a day.
I will try and do that this winter, but in the meantime, my list of each day is more than full.
Well, you have to have a phone first to do it.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So maybe
that's a whole other learning process, but you're just trying to get people across your bridge. So I just was suggesting maybe a sign or two would help.
Yeah. So you can put phone on your Christmas list.
About what?
Put phone on your Christmas list.
Yeah, well, yeah, but right now I've got my computers, which does fine, and it doesn't work so well when I'm out in the woods. Okay. I'll just turn to anyone else, like the guy in the blue shirt, or you, or somebody.
The blue shirt. All right. All right. Crosstown Trail, I don't really have anything to report.
Going back to the ADA business, just briefly, the One Book, One Region was written by that woman that was last name. She's going to be at Conn College on the 22nd. She was so instrumental at getting so many ADA regulations in place. Her book is quite interesting to read, and it talks about how many presidents she had been through and how she had been, did you read it? UN. She had been invited by different countries.
World Health Organization, internationally. Yeah. Being Human is the name of the book. Human is HEUMAN. Might be double.
The last name.
That's right. Her name is Human. And that's the name of the book, Being Human, but it's the spelling of
it's very interesting. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out for ADA because we're having a fair amount of discussions about that road, the parking lots in Carolina. Like there are all these regulations about this, how you have to construct a Anyway, thank you.
All right. Crosstown Trail, I really don't have.
Well, my report is that our stewardship head board member, Dan O'Connell, led a group on the Crosstown Trail June weekend on the Avery Farm. I don't know how many people were there.
Okay.
I guess question to you on the Crosstown Trail is that we've got this as part of you have the Crosstown Greenway. I guess, are there any efforts here to try to increase the scope of it? Because right now, Sydney is talking to the section that does have markings and has some signage on it. But as far as expanding this to the entire green, is that going to be part of Parks and Rec's long-term planning? Or is it the responsibility of this task force? Or you know, as far as you got the Greenway stand, we've got the map, goes all the way from, you know, Mystic River all the way to up to the sub bay.
Yeah.
We have a map, and we started this with the Parks and Rec, and we started it at Bluff Point, and we went all the way to the Mystic River.
But what I'm saying, Sydney, is that all that is incorporated in the Greenway. However, the Greenway is significantly expanded that up along the Mystic River and also all the way to the submarine base.
Yes.
So that's my question. How are we going to expand the map system that we put in place already to get the rest of it done?
Sure. Well, I was just looking at the map for the trails, Tri-Town Trail, and those are some very nice maps showing.
That's a separate Greenway.
Showing you going all the way from Bluff Point all the way up to the top here. And so any map person, very important.
So are you asking about signage?
Well, between the signage and then follow on would be any kind of advertising and stuff. I know Noah hasn't had an opportunity to incorporate. He has all the information,
right.
But I don't think he's incorporated that into his system, because that's another thing that I think that's our new business here. But when you're talking to Tri-Town Trail, as far as the signage, as far as along the way to identify it, we've got the State Greenway gave us some initial sign, and getting that incorporated, that signage, like I know the Tri-Town Trails, when we're going to be doing additional signage, we'll be incorporating that logo and that type of stuff.
Right.
Trail part.
Yeah. So suggest that we come up with a number of signs that we need, identify locations, and I could put money in the budget for next year.
Yeah.
To say, you know, we need and get a price. Sign is $45 or whatever it is.
Well, they gave us a certain number. I don't know if they gave us a certain number.
Well, they gave the town two, and they gave Tri-Town Trail two. Those are you got gratis.
Right. And I don't know if.
But any further, that's all your own is going.
Yeah. And yeah, I was just gonna say, we don't have to go through them in order to get more signs.
No.
We would need electronic image.
Or I think you already have that.
No,
Well, it's easily get. I know who to talk.
they don't have that.
Those are the Tri-Towns.
Yeah.
But
So-
it is electronically, I don't have this.
Yeah.
So I think we would need to lay out a plan of where we want to put signs. We want to put some kind of markings on the street, you know, where that would be, what exactly that would look like.
I guess you'd really want a map to go with that so that they knew where they were going.
And you want a map, yeah. And I don't know what Noah's time frame is for generating a map.
We have a couple of
Either on the web or something that could be printed, although I think.
Well, Noah has like 4 different versions of the crosstown rail.
Right.
That's mounted on 215. It's mounted.
Well,
where
no,
it
Steve,
comes
we're
out.
talking. Those are the current versions of it for the sections that were there from Haley to.
Yes.
But we're talking about the rest of the town.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So you said Noah has 4 versions.
Well, yeah, it depends on whether he has a topographical version. He has one with all the open space on it. So he has various versions of it. Okay. So he already has all of the fill on mark. What portion is hiking? Which part is hiking? Which part is joint?
Right.
All that stuff is there.
So printable version would be taking all 4 of those and somehow combining bits and pieces, or
well, as he's got that whole thing all put together.
Oh, okay. So then it's just a matter of getting just printed. But I mean, would we have more users if it was electronically?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He already has it's all digitized,
right?
he already has all the information. But the digital stuff goes into the town's hiking app.
Okay. Right,
And he
right.
has not updated that yet. He's waiting for direction from this committee.
Okay.
To talk to him about it.
Okay.
Get it on the app.
On the town, on the app. Now,
Okay.
get it prioritized with all its other tasks.
All right. Well, I can submit an IT ticket for that to happen.
Okay.
Because at this point, if there hasn't even been an IT ticket, then it's never going to go anywhere. Yeah. I will do that.
As a start. I mean, I'm trying to expand on this because I put a lot of time into getting this Greenway thing here, so I got to see the down to the follow on.
So, as far as signage, figuring out where the signs are gonna go, how many we're gonna need, what kind of street markings somebody's gonna do. I do not have the time right now. I lost my right-hand person.
Yeah.
There's too much going on.
I can give it a shot.
Okay.
Hey,
It's on there, and give it a shot and let a look at it.
Okay. Markings on streets, Deb, is that a question for Blake or is regulations?
Are we talking town or state?
Well,
yeah.
let's start.
Let's start with town.
Let's start with town. Yeah. So what is that?
Yeah, so I definitely touch base with Greg. He probably has to run a track.
Okay, so we would need a
But it's
plan.
internal.
We would need
Yeah,
a plan to
what is
say
the plan?
we want to put, and the other question, what it's painted. Is it that, or is it just the bicycle lane?
Well, yeah, most of the stuff is already on designated bike trails.
Yeah.
Okay, biking portion on the street. So I'm not looking to go above and beyond it, other than having a few extra signs similar to this that would be with the bike
Yeah, do
trail.
you really want to paint the
Yeah.
street? Or
Well, I don't know, I'm
just
just-
not existing homes,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I see on the East Coast Greenway.
I mean, and is that the size sign you want?
Yeah.
That to me is kind of, if you're hiking, that's great. Bike, that's way too small.
Well, it depends if you already have the big bike sign already there, this just supplements that.
Well, I guess that's my point. We're gonna, we need to know the number of signs,
Yeah.
where they're gonna be, and how big they're gonna be.
Yeah.
That's all of those questions.
This could take a little more research. That's why I was just trying to
Yeah,
keep this
and
discussion off.
the city, are their regulations similar to the towns?
Their traffic authority is just the mayor.
Okay.
That's probably where you start, or with Jill, do a lot of the trail work.
Okay,
Well, she was.
Not anymore.
No. She's not.
A little too busy.
That's the other, that was the other. Yeah, she's not working.
oh, Jill, yeah, no. Jill Rusk, yeah, she
Left months ago.
left the city.
Jill Rusk was the mayor's.
Yes.
assistant. Yeah, she left
Oh, yeah.
months ago.
And
Then I guess it's the mayor.
But that was the other, is a follow on who's Jill's replacement, because she was working, because that's the one thing that's still not complete with the Tri-Town Trail is the hiking portion that links from the Sassacus Nature Preserve down to
Oh, right.
to the city hall, to the Groton City Municipal Building, that
yeah.
section, and then also down south of there to up or to the I guess the Sparkle Lake, First Plain Creek Park on the city side. That's all city side. For the woods, the trail.
That's why I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, the trail is Sassacus is there as Walmart. It was all put together between the support from Avalone, I think, and Conrad Hetty from his local people in the area and stuff there. That one section is complete. Now you just need to kind of bridge across and then get over
access it from the back.
Through the woods.
Right. Sydney, did you have anything else for
I
Groton?
do.
Okay.
Gosa's Sheep Farm, which is related and next door to and abuts Sheep Farm South, sort of right in the middle where the latest data center drama came up. We have a new trail, the Yellow Trail. And if you're at the foundation and start on the red trail down toward the waterfall, just after the bridge that's there, there's a yellow trail that takes you up into the Sheep Farm South area. And then it comes back down over to the north and comes into the blue trail, which will take you back down across Fort Hill Brook. And just before you get to Fort Hill Brook, there's a white trail on the left, which would take you back to the waterfall if you had wanted to do that. And we will be having, we're going to have some maps soon of that new trail, which will be the combination of Sheep Farm and Sheep Farm South. And I don't know, we're sort of tossing around just having the whole thing be Sheep Farm. And so the history of all the drama that went on Sheep Farm South, but we should be getting a map soon. Now, for the record, and if you go on our website and go to properties, each one of Gosa's properties has the map that you can download with the trail on it. So if there can be some indication in any of the write-up here that if people want to see, to go on the trails of the open space property in Groton, this is how you do it. And there've been a lot of stewardship work on all of them. Recently, we had the Sheep Farm South, which was up there at Flanders Road, which has been a real mess. And we had a whole bunch of folks from Pfizer's that came and helped us doing a lot of clearing in that upper disaster area. And there's still more to do. We have a lot of invasives to deal with. But at any rate, the map should be soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Town trails updates. In this budget, we received $25,000 we used as a match for trail development. And so when there is a trail grant out there, we'll have $25,000. Well, we've got a couple of those. I'd like to continue to work on the COP property. Eventual goal is to hire loop stone dust. Plans already. I've been 5 years. Anyway, we can do that. There's also work that needs to be done at BB Pond, crossing the outlet.
Yeah.
The end of the pond. There's a really rough stone crossing. So we just need to wait for grant opportunities to become available. As a reminder, we received money to update our bike and pedestrian plan, writing an RFQ for that probably in December or so. Interviewing firms, and that work will begin probably in the spring and carry through the summer. And then they'll be working on putting the plan together. So that's 12 to 18 months in hand.
Mark, just one other thing. We've been working with Eversource, who's going to be taking out a lot of their wooden poles and replacing them with metal. And so they wanted to make sure this is up at the Avery Farm, going all the way over to, I think it's called Bolton Landing Road. It's on Route 117. And so they all started up at Route 117, and I was delayed. So I went up Lambtown Road and we met in the middle. And it's they'll be using it more. So in the future, it should be able to be walked on. Most of it is on GOSA property, and there's a little bit of open space Ledyard that's in there too.
Okay.
Power line.
The Long-Term Recovery Committee has not started looking at the ARPA projects, and that was one that we had submitted for signage for Tri-Town Trails. So I don't know what the status is. I believe the Long-Term Recovery Committee is.
Right, then, so those projects are all out by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
they're supposed to be bringing in.
Oh, so they're reviewing. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so they're reviewing them independently, and then they're get together and prioritize this. Yeah. And that's happening.
We'll say the last week in September.
Deborah, you on the long-term?
I missed that. What is it?
It's the committee that is reviewing how to spend the ARPA funds, and they solicited projects. They will make a recommendation to the council.
And I think there's like 70 some odd projects.
Right.
And one of the projects that was submitted was I guess it was from the Parks and Rec Department, in collaboration with Tri-Town Trails for signage, right?
For branding.
Yeah, for branding and signage to try to create kind of a universal. So as hikers transition from different properties, it's clear, that it was all part of hiking in Groton. So we'll see where that falls.
There's like 54 projects that are not already pre-funded by the council.
Oh, gotcha.
So there's a lot more money being requested than there is.
Yeah, and which is not.
Can I just ask where on the priority list was that bridge that I always talk about by Esper Point that could be a fishing bridge and hike and walking and biking? Is that even on there?
Not for ARPA funds. No, but there's CIP study for everything. I don't.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
they presented it. Right. Long time ago.
Yeah, and there's two camps. One wants to see it, the other doesn't. I don't know the argument. I think I understand the argument for those that want it. I'm not sure that I understand the argument for those that don't.
But the thing is, I think that could be a jewel for Groton to have a bridge, because I go over that every day, and a number of people who like to fish off that, you have no fishing here anywhere in town.
Yeah.
And how dangerous it is. We have walkers with dogs, we have bikers, we have fishermen, and then you have kids jumping off the bridge. Yeah. And then you have a car.
Right.
It would be so.
Well, there was a presentation.
Oh yeah.
But that's all being handled by the state. They had the preliminary.
It's not a state road, but a bridge.
Yes.
Well, I know
the state gets involved.
I know it's a big project,
because it's funding. So
as soon as someone gets hit.
And that's what because they're using the federal funding, they had to go get it now. The preliminary design is complete. That's going to be turned over because they're using the type of funding they use. They have to get a different planner, and it's certified by the state. Utilize the federal funds.
But it had nothing to do with stimulus.
It does not have
not ARPA funding. It's different pot of money. Build back better.
Oh, okay.
I bring it up every time.
No, that's still on.
But I just feel so passionate because I'm afraid someone's going to get killed before we do it.
It's 50 feet wide. It's got
is what you proposed, and I'm not familiar with it, but in the city of Groton on Thomas Road, that bridge has an extension.
Okay.
And the one going in Mystic to Mason's Island has an extension on one side.
Mason's Island to Enders?
I think so.
I never started even fishing out there.
Yeah, I've seen people fishing there, but I think, you know what I mean, is the bridge and then there's like a platform or something that you can stand on that is protected from the road. Is that what you're?
I'm talking about Esker Point though.
Right.
I'm worried about the safety.
Yeah,
that's why.
but is that the sort of thing you were
yeah.
asking for, is some sort of a?
I wasn't asking for it, but I mean, I'm just wanting to say that it's supported and I would love to see it happen. But anytime I have a chance when there's some people in the room, I talk about the safety because I'm really worried about the safety of people on that bridge.
People are going so much faster, I think. I'm not as concerned with walkers and bikers, and at least in what I've observed.
Oh, and carriages, and oh my God, I can't believe we're not in the truck.
The last thing that I have, actually I have two. So there was also money approved in this budget to look at designing a bike path from Lily Lane up to the high school. I think that was something that the Trails Coordinating Task Force kind of prioritized projects a number of years ago, and that's on the list. They did get, I think, $35,000 for coming up with plans and an estimate for the cost. And I think there's kind of a placeholder put in 2025, 2026 for money to. That's something that will hopefully start moving forward. Finally, 2 years ago, we received money from the state of Connecticut for community connectivity, and that was to build a bike path from Route 1 through Sutton Park, connecting out to Midway Oval, and then doing signage and sharrows, marking the road all the way over to
in the park.
What's the
That board.
Yeah, is it Knoxville? That's
Knoxville, yes. Yeah. So originally that work was being done in-house due to the current staffing situation. Public Works has had an open position for an engineer for months. They've had no applications. And one of their engineers is out for the next 2.5 months. So they're really behind on their work. So we are pulling that work from Public Works, putting it into the Sutton Park improvements, which include the skate park, parking lots, and playground. We received 5 proposals for that design work, and we're going to be interviewing firms over the next few weeks. And that design work in the winter. So no time frame for when that actually might be constructed. That's all for town trails. Tri-town.
Want to report?
No, you can.
I don't have all of them. I mean, I'm going to put an RFP out for a grant that we received from the state to continue or to start design work and planning work to extend the trail from the southern
going down to where?
14.
Oh, okay, good.
$116,000, I believe. So that's in process right now. And we're doing Walktober, which is with the Last Green Valley, and we're working with the Electric Park and Rec, and we're going to have a walk October 1st with Maggie Jones, who's going to be leading that walk and looking at the changes in the environment for fall.
I think GOSA is joining you in part of that. GOSA is joining you in the October walk.
This one's October 1st, Saturday at Tri-Town Trail North.
Well,
GOSA also has a Last Green Valley Walktober.
That's Green Valley. Thank you. That's it. We're going to be doing that, I think.
Are there any updates from Groton Utilities?
He's our expert.
The Groton Utilities right now, what they just give you a little background here is that the commission board directed the operations to hire an outside consultant to make a determination and recommendations relative to how to incorporate standing trail access through their properties. They hired a consultant. He's interviewed us as well as the Tri-Town Trail folks. He also interviewed the staff and developed a questionnaire. He's actually walked some of the trails that we proposed. And then he developed a questionnaire that was sent out in July to a number, 34 different water folks, and different other water companies, Groton and all these other kind of places that have reservoirs in the state. And they're in the process of collating that information and making an analysis on it. We suspect that sometime that his report will be available between the September board meeting, which is next week, and the October board meeting. So then during that time, he would provide that report to the board, and before it goes presented at a public. So we're kind of anticipating as. Don't know the guy's name. Yeah. I've met him very briefly.
But truly outside.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
This guy is like it's not inside guy.
Okay.
Did it start with one company and then
they had a bunch of contracts. Right. Yeah.
Then they had to start again.
Right. Yeah. It's been on and off. The contracting took them 6 months to get another contract from January to because the guy changed company.
Oh. Yeah.
It's all kind of.
All right.
But they got an outside consultant.
Right.
Okay.
And
no, it's not internal.
Okay,
but their internal people did review the development of the survey. I know the board members were a little concerned about that. There's still some skepticism. I did see the survey questions while they were being in development. We were asked to comment on them. We made some comments, but I don't know what the final.
That's a staff turnover.
They've had a significant staff turnover of retirements from the
2 key people.
Yeah.
45 years, if you believe it's not the same. The other one was 40.
Yeah. So
but this questionnaire.
Yeah.
It's sort of, I don't know how you want to say it. It's up your sleeve or something. It's not available. And it's like, hello.
Well, they've made it available to the utilities. It wasn't a questionnaire brought to the public, correct?
Right.
It wasn't
it was out to
the public was not available, could not access what the other reservoir people
are being asked.
Were being asked.
Well, I think that's what the question is. So, that's what one of the board members was asking to Ron answer the question.
Missions next week.
Next one.
Another one. See you there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting process.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
seems to
the somewhat encouraging thing. What I understand, other utilities are much more open.
Right. As you can
so if you're getting input from utilities that are kind of at 180 degrees perspective of Groton.
Well, one of the things that question that was raised that was put at the meeting, the last meeting, August meeting, and Ron's little concern was that there's a breadth of size that they won't really want to focus in on the utilities that are comparable size to Groton. I guess you could go to the MDC when they use it. So much larger and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And those kind of concerns. I don't know where it's all going to go. According with the information that was at the last meeting, she was with me in the meeting. Yeah. And I think I'm saying everything that's been said there properly.
Okay.
You're a great rep.
Could you forward some of that information to me?
The best thing is the minutes to those meetings are posted on the Groton Utilities or the City of Groton Board minutes, and that's where to read the stuff.
Anybody wants to read it.
I did not have finished or new business.
A few years back, maybe you remembers. Didn't we have something at the library? Sydney may remember this. Did we have something at the library where different groups came and talked about their trails? The public, a public forum or something, where each organization, like the town of Groton, Groton Space, and Avalon, had an opportunity to show their stuff about open space and the trails open space and try to heighten the awareness of people in the area to what is available. I was on one of the properties entitled to a postcard gentleman. He says, I can't believe the number of opportunities that Groton has for hikes and bikes. And
perhaps we could do something.
I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah. Maybe if we did something in March, just prior to Spring. National Trails Day. Oh, well, no, that's June. Well, it's yeah, I mean, so if we did it in April, or yeah.
Well, it's just a thought, right? You know?
People are hiking in the fall. The fall is when a lot of people are hiking.
Well, I could talk to Jennifer, the director of the library.
Jen, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark?
Yes. Yeah.
I also serve on the library board. We're having our next monthly meeting next week. I can't speak for a board as an individual, but I think if you were to ask, or if a member of this committee were to ask to come to the board meeting and just explore that together, I'd be surprised if you couldn't be put on the agenda.
Okay. You want to do that, Joellen?
I couldn't hear all of that.
Oh, Matt said that there's a library board meeting coming up. When is it?
Next week. I believe it's Wednesday, but I can get back to you on the time.
Okay.
But, you know, they're always looking for programs.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the organization.
I think they've got more programs than they can even handle, but that doesn't mean they won't look at more. They just hired, the library just hired another person to help with the production of videos. So
the 21st is the date.
It's the 21st.
That's Sean's thing. Really?
Right. Oh, it's the 21st. I'm out of town next week, so I can't do it.
Well, it was just a thought, you know, that you set aside a date and send out an invitation to the different groups and ask them what you want them to bring or show to at the meeting. Yeah. And they could do displays and videos. Sure. Or talk or
and have maps available.
Yeah. Yeah. Just sort of a public forum type thing.
Sure. All right. So you're going to check your schedule?
And whether or not it would be more accessible over here in a larger room where the cafeteria is.
Right.
Than room 1 and 2 at the library.
Yep. All right. So you're going to check your schedule for next Wednesday evening?
21st?
Yes.
It's 4 o'clock.
Oh, is it 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock. The library.
Yes.
Or, you know, that's one path. Another path to the same goal would be to just have an informal conversation with Jennifer to explore how it would be most productive for this group and or the component members of this group to bat around the possibility for a program in the future. And it may or may not be premature to come to the library board. Might be better just to chat privately with Jen and
if you want to do it at the 555, how would that proceed?
It'd be a traveling show.
Yeah. You can talk to Mary.
I just did a project with them, and one of the things, and you could probably comment on it, is that sometimes the attendance has been so poor. Yeah. People weren't out getting out as much as they were, and they were really having a transition after COVID to get people to come out to the library. So maybe instead of having a one-time, having a display in that room and directing people into the room in order to have a display where they usually have art, you could have all the maps there, and then there would be a traveling show, and then you could take that same, audiovisual aids and get them and bring it over here to this center as well. And that way you would hit both groups, and it wouldn't need as much manpower probably to be there and available. I don't know if maybe you can present that to the library board, but I know when I was talking to Ann Campbell, she was saying how much trouble she was having getting people to her programs.
Yes.
I was imagining there being two tracks. One is perhaps something live, but I think the real outreach is a real outreach, not is the multiplication via Groton TV, Municipal TV, where whatever we present, whatever the constituent members of the Trails Committee present can be played numerous times and reach an audience that way. And nothing to stop you from inviting Kimberly Drellick from the Day to come to the event as well.
All right, anything else? I get a motion.
Make a motion that we adjourn the meeting at an early time. 4:52.
Second.
Second. You need to write a grant to get the extension on those bridges before somebody does get.
Yeah.
It's scary over there.
All those in favor of adjourning?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Pleased to meet you. Hope I can be of some utility to you.
Mark, who else is there out of this picture that I'm looking at? Actually,
Here, before everybody runs away.
Joellen is there.
Yeah.
Right here. But
Yeah.
there's some other people.
And there's Ray.
Hello, everybody.
Yep. And right. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're meeting at 5:55?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll try to come in person next time.
Terrific. Okay.
5:55.
Yeah. That's formerly the Senior Center. We rebranded.
Mark, could I put just a little side request in?
Depends on the request.
Okay. This is Sydney down at the bottom of
yeah, I know where you live.
I'm hoping that you're going to allow the outhouse to be there for at least 1 month, maybe 2.
Because it's so busy at the town dock.
It's just been full of people all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have it scheduled right now to be pulled around Halloween.
Well, that will be very busy.
Yeah.
Very busy because everybody walks their kids down there for Halloween. So if you can at least have it be through then, but even more, because otherwise they go, the people use the space between the red building and Latham Chester store.
Yeah. Well, why don't they use the bathrooms in their homes?
Because they aren't home. They've driven down from somewhere else. I can only see your top button there. So they've driven from North Stonington down here and they spent the afternoon there. The number of people that come and sit on the shade of the red shed every single day. And where are they going to the bathroom? Between the buildings if we don't have an outhouse. And they use it a lot because I can hear the door slam. Now, what they've done at Haley Farm, they replaced the, or I guess it's open now. They used to have a real building, but they had an outhouse there, and they did it because that company cleans it, empties the stuff out, and they didn't have to hire somebody to do that. So this company I've seen there just as long ago as last week, and he comes and cleans and empties the stuff out, cleans it up, and then they're off. And I think it's an investment, very important investment.
Fall's coming down.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see us keeping it there all winter long.
I didn't say all winter. We're October, halfway through November. How about that?
I think we used to take it out in September, and it keeps.
No, I know, and then there were full of people still down there.
Yeah. So
every single day.
Is this people using restaurants and then?
No. Like Ford's isn't open on Mondays and Tuesdays. So first of all, you're not going to have any of those. I don't know how long they stay open, but there just aren't a lot of restaurants there. Carson's close at 3 o'clock every afternoon. So you have all the people that are down there in the afternoon using the space between the red building and the white building.
Yeah.
So I would really hope that you could really splurge and allow that thing to stay there. It's been wonderful.
Well, but maybe we can, if it's become more of a public bathroom than a bathroom used by the folks on the dock, we can get Public Works to cover those costs. If it's like they do in Mystic and other places.
Yes, but there are just a lot of like old people that sit around, gather with their chairs by the building all day, all afternoon.
Yeah.
So I have a request that it stay there longer. Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you.
Okay. All right. Duly noted.
All right. That's good.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.